Okay, this is a recording to help you all understand Paula's peaches and what they're asking you in the task. Alright, in this task it says Paula, the peach grower, wants to expand her peach orchard. In the established part of her orchard there are 30 trees per acre with an average yield of 600 peaches per tree. We see that the number of peaches per acre can be modeled with the quadratic function, the function f of x, where x represents the number of trees and f of x represents the number of peaches per acre. And this is given below. Alright, so on here you have your equation, f of x equals negative 12x squared plus 960x. Then you have a graph of that quadratic. And this is the graph right here. On your x-axis, you have the number of trees. And then on your y-axis, you have the number of peaches those trees will produce. Alright, now keeping that in mind, going to number 1. It says, Paula wants to average more peaches. Her current yield with 30 trees is 18,000 peaches per acre. And it's represented by f at 30 equals 18,000. F at 30 equals 18,000 is a point in function notation. This is telling you that when x is 30, y is 18,000. So you're looking for the point 30, 18,000 on the graph. So that's why they're asking you, do you see this point? Because again, f at 30 equals 18,000 is a point on the graph. In A, it says use the function above to write an inequality to express the average yield of peaches. Alright, so I'm going to underline that. Alright, it says use the function above. Alright, the function above would be the function that was given to you in the beginning. The function above is f of x equals negative 12x squared plus 960x. That's the function above. It says to write an inequality. Underline the word inequality. An inequality means that you're either going to use less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to express the average yield of peaches per acre to be at least 18,000. At least is a key word. At least tells us that we're going to be using the inequality greater than or equal to, and it looks like this. Alright, and we want it to be at least 18,000, so we want it to be greater than or equal to 18,000. So, whatever the function is at the top, which is provided to you, it is greater than or equal to, and I'm just going to write the word function, or f of x. And when they're saying this, see, this is general. They want the specific. What is f of x equal to? That's what you want to put there in place of f of x. That function is going to be greater than or equal to 18,000. So, it is given to you again at the top. So B says, since Paula desires at least 18,000 peaches per acre, draw a horizontal line showing her goal. Alright, so a key word here is horizontal. A horizontal line is a line that it goes like this. That's in horizontal line. Her goal is to have at least 18,000 peaches. 18,000 is on the y-axis. So you're trying to draw a horizontal line whose equation is actually y equals 18,000. So you're drawing that line on the graph above. Then it's asking you a question. Does this line represent her goal of at least 18,000 peaches per acre? Why or why not? That is something that you have to think about. Not me, you. So you have to look at what you're doing and then think about what they're asking you. All right, moving on to CDE. C says, shade the region that represents her goal of at least 18,000 peaches per acre. First of all, the curve or the quadratic or the parabola represents the number of peaches that she can produce. So you can't go above that curve. Second, you have a line that represents her goal of producing 18,000 peaches. So now you have to shade what part of that region that she will get at least her goal of 18,000. And at least means she wants 18,000 or more. So I'm going to put here at least means 18,000 peaches or more. So you think about that and you think about what region you have to shade. In D, it says, use the graph above to answer the following question. How many peaches can Paula plant in order to yield at least 18,000 peaches? Okay, so then you need to look at that line. And when they're asking you a question like that, how many trees, remember the number of trees is given by X. So number of trees, that is your X value. So you need to see what number of trees can be, what number of trees, looking at the X's, would give you 18,000 peaches or more. Then it says, write your solution as a compound inequality. A compound inequality looks like this. All right, since our inequality that we're using happens to be greater than or equal to, we're going to write it like this. We're going to use less than or equal to because X is between two numbers. Over here, this would be your lowest X. Over here, you would write your highest X. All right, so you have to look at the graph and look for those numbers to put in those blanks. In E, it asks you, what is the domain of f of x? So again, the domain is from your lowest x to your highest x. And then it asks you, once you figure that out looking at the graph, in the context of Paula's peaches, is your answer representative of the domain of f of x? So then you have to think about what it means to have a tree. Can you have fractional trees or do you only have whole trees? So you need to think about what are you graphing. So would it just be points or would it be just a continuous line connecting the points? So again, that's something that you have to think about, and then you would give your answer.